Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're going to have some fun diving into Historic Anthology 4, which was just dropped randomly here. So I didn't even see this coming. So we're gonna dive into all this stuff real quick if you guys want to check it out. So in the store, Historic Anthology has you can pay for 4,000 gems. You can get all of the stuff, or just spend wild cards. They've done this every once in a while. It's always in between sets, which I actually kind of like to keep at least arena fresh, even if standard gets a little bit a little bit stale, which right now I'm actually really enjoying standard still. But I'm always a big fan of Historic Anthology, and so I haven't spent wild cards on these yet just because they honestly just barely came out, and it looks like we got our Adorned Pouncer in this. Were these spoiled anywhere? I totally missed all this. So if I missed it, I feel like some of you guys missed it as well, because I tend to stay on top of Historic because that's like my jam, but apparently I missed this. So this is all new stuff. We're going to talk about what's going on here with this one. I'm just going to dive through all of the cards real quick. We have swords. We have some pretty fun like Harmless Offering stuff you can do, some shenanigans that are seen play, and a Death Shadow. Okay, yeah, so we're going to dive through each of these ones. I don't play a bunch of the older formats that often, but I know cards well enough that hopefully we can kind of dive into it and show some stuff. So we're just going to dive through each of these and see which ones I think are worth getting and which ones are not. Threaven Inspector, awesome card. This isn't a common card, so we can get these pretty easily. Sorry if you guys are hearing the baby in the background. It's hopefully it doesn't pick up if my voice is close to this, but she's going to bed. Anyway, Threaven Inspector, 1 mana, 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, you investigate. So investigate means you make a clue token, which is super powerful. Is there anything else with investigate? I know there's the okay, it doesn't look like it yet. We'll see. But investigate. So it's basically a shard token of Nico. Pay 2 to sacrifice and draw a card. You don't get the scry with it as well, but it's still a really powerful effect. So this is just a really good 1-drop that helps you draw cards, as well as be a 1-drop that's 1/2 toughness is actually good stats. It stops a lot of other 1-drop things. So it's just good. It's a really decent card. It's a good filler for a white deck, and it's a human and a soldier, which can be relevant at times. All right, Adorned Pouncer. This is my favorite cat. This cat is actually pretty busted. So 2 mana, 1/1, and has double strike, which is good. In the early game, it can be a good blocker. It changes combat stuff. If you ever are playing any kind of pump effects, this is really good. So like Feather is going to be wanting to play this. A couple other things, and then it eternalizes for 5 mana, so you can play it from the graveyard or exile it from the graveyard and create a 4/4 copy. Which actually is better because you don't play it, you exile it, so it actually dodges around the Grafdigger's Cage because you exile it and then just create a token that's a copy of it, and so it dodges around Grafdigger's Cage, it dodges around other effects not letting you play stuff from the graveyard, and so Eternalize is actually awesome. And then it creates a 4/4 double striker, which in the late game, I mean, that's good stuff. That's a really good like extra gas in a white deck, in any kind of like a Boros pump or like Naya pump deck. So Adorned Pouncer is one of my favorite cards. It's really good, and I was really bummed when it wasn't coming out in Amonkhet, but they did bring it into Historic Anthology. So hopefully any other things that we've been missing, this is a way that things can come back. Declaration Stone, I need to remind myself what this one does. I know it's seen in play a lot, but exile target creature and all other creatures it controls with the same name as that creature. That player investigates for each non-token creature exile this way. Okay, that's actually, so each non-token creature exile this way. So if you're exiling a bunch of tokens, this is probably like a really good sideboard card for when you're playing up against tokens. This gets the goblins, and for its sorcery speed, so I'm still not sure exactly how well this actually plays out, but there are times that this might be worth hitting, So Declaration Stone, it's a good card for sure. Lets the opponent get a lot of artifacts on the battlefield too. I wonder if there's a way to force that to be good for you. So you exile target creature and others to name, and then its controller investigates. So you can actually create a bunch of artifact, like a bunch of artifacts that hit your board at the same time, with like Scoot Swarm or something like that. Maybe there's a way to kill with that. I don't know. All right, Triumphant Reckoning. 9 mana, 6 and 3 white. Return all artifact, enchantment, and planeswalker cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Ooh, that's actually pretty good because you can do a planeswalker enchantment control deck pretty easily with artifacts or whatever. And like there's been Mardu enchantments with planeswalkers, all that kind of stuff. And so this is just like a one of finisher. And like I would run that at 9, even at 9 mana. You get up to 9 mana in those decks pretty okay. All right, Icebringer. We get more crabs, dude. We can do the crab tribal deck. 2 mana 0/4. Whenever another snow permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you may have target player mill 2 cards. Oh no, the crab. We're definitely building this and doing it, but there's more crab mill. How sad. And also I'm really excited. So more snow stuff. Is this actually from older things? I don't know. I don't know what's in this one. Looks like it's from is that Modern Horizons? Is that what that was from? Cool. All right. Merit Ledge Slumber. 2 mana legendary snow enchantment. When it or another snow permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you scry 1. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can have a lot of snow permanents enter, so that's actually pretty good. So snow and historic is looking pretty decent. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more snow permanents, sacrifice it. If you do, you create a Merit Laggy. A Merit Laggy, a 2020 black avatar creature token with flying and indestructible. That seems busted. I think I've seen something like this played before. Is this? I mean, that's dang good. So yeah, that's actually gonna be pretty sweet. Like mono blue snow control. This is a great way to kind of have an extra finisher in there because you get the scry out of it still. So just like a 1 or 2 of this deck, this card in a mono blue control deck. Seems really good. Or, Sultai Snow. I'm not sure how powerful that is, though. Think twice. Draw a card and then flashback. Nice. So flashback, you just pay 3 from graveyard. You don't exile it. Oh, then you do exile. Okay. I'm trying to remember. Which is the one that doesn't exile? Is that Jumpstart or I can't remember. Anyway, I mean, I think it's the instant speed is nice. I'm not sure if I like that more than just running some other cards, but it's decent. Like there is a jumpstart version of this that's I think it's only 2 to pay back, but you have to discard as well. So I guess the flashback would be better. All right, Death Shadow. Let's get into the exciting stuff. So Death Shadow is awesome. We already have the Scourge of whatever it's called. So this gets -X where X is your life total. So if your life total is 20. Then this enters the battlefield and immediately dies. If your life total is 10, then this is a 3/3, and so on and so forth. And so the whole idea is that you want to, like, you're playing a bunch of shocklands, which we do have shocklands. We don't have fetch lands to make that even better, but we have Thoughtseize, we have the shocklands, we have Murderous Rider, which can come in to make Death Shadow a little bit more likely to be awesome. So you get your life total low enough to make Death Shadow just kind of win right away, and then you play enough removal and control, all that kind of stuff, to make sure that it can actually get in and hit. And so I mean, the Death Shadow, Death Shadow has been played for forever in other decks. You want to be playing multiple colors so you can have the shocklands anyway, so you can go into other colors pretty easily, kind of splash into that. And Death Shadow is just awesome. Amit Eternal, another card that didn't see play from Amonkhet, which is pretty decent. 3 mana 5/5. With Afflict, whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a -1 counter onto Amit. See, one of the biggest issues is that there was a whole -1 counter deck, and we were missing a lot of pieces from it. This is one of the main pieces that we're missing from it. So this also gives us the chance to have the -1 counter deck as well. I'm not sure if it'll be good enough, but at least this is available to us now. Yeah, whenever opponent casts a spell, put a -1 counter onto Amit Eternal. Whenever it deals combat damage to player, remove all the -1 counters onto it. And so that can be pretty good. So the Afflict side of it is whenever this creature becomes blocked, defending player loses 3 life. For those that didn't play Amonkhet with Afflict or whatever, it's actually pretty good. So if we attack in with it and there's reasons for people to not block this. Basically, if they do block it, they're taking 3 damage anyway. If we know that this is a very good mono black aggro card, just in general, as long as we can hit in with it, and maybe this is like something with like Demonic Embrace, something where you can make sure you're getting in with the damage. Yeah, someone can just cast enough spells to have this die, but typically this gets in and then it just becomes another threat. Like it becomes a bigger threat again. So it's a decent 3-drop in a mono black aggro deck, as well as in the -1 counters deck. Not sure if that'll actually be powerful enough though. 3 mana enchantment. Whenever so Faith of the Devoted, I have to read the card's name. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1. If you do, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. The cycling deck just got better. That's scary. I'm not sure if cycling ever really saw play in Historic. It probably could have. I'm not sure if this makes it better. There's a lot of cycling stuff that came from Amonkhet as well. There's some pretty exciting stuff with that. So that's cool. Yes, Torment of the Scarabs. This is the card I've been waiting for. All right, so 3 mana enchant player. This is from Amonkhet. At the at the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, that player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card. Does that effect look familiar? It looks a lot like Turgid's Lantern. So this is a Turgid's Lantern that triggers at the beginning of every that player's upkeep. So every time that they go for an upkeep, Turgid's Lantern triggers for them, basically, or Torment of Hellfire. So basically with Torment of Hellfire, Turgid's Lantern, and this, suddenly we have 12 ways to make this happen consistently, and that's actually pretty busted. That's gonna be exciting. So we're gonna make a control deck out of that for sure. I'm not sure if that's necessarily more busted than Turgid's Lantern, but at least we get to have that. Like, it looks like they're like, hey, this deck should be available for us, for people. Let's go ahead and throw it out there for them. And I'm actually pretty excited there's not been too many like legendary things. Like, this is a legendary. Like, I personally have a lot more rare wild cards, so I'm actually able to make all these, and people that do dump in a little bit of money into this typically have that, but I know I'm not advising everyone go do that, because there is the reason to be playing free play, but that's also the reason why I make content, is because I know that some people aren't willing to throw money into Arena. Like, I wouldn't be if I wasn't making content. But that way I can play hopefully the things that you guys are excited for. So definitely put in the comments below what things you're excited for, what decks you want to see play. I'll try to get through them as much as possible. Now that we have more historic stuff coming out, I'll probably do historic decks and standard decks kind of on and off here. Try to get a little bit more of this stuff out there. Flameblade Adapt is awesome. 1 mana to Menace. Whenever you cycle a discarded card, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. And so this is just another good thing for the cycling deck. Like, the cycling deck actually can be pretty busted. With Menace, this can actually hit it for quite a bit of damage. Do we also get... I can't remember if we kept the dude that whenever we cycle or discard cards, you get it gets cheaper. I'm not sure if that was in Amonkhet as well. And then it's like it's a 5 mana spell. It gets 2 less for every time you cycle or discard a card. And it's a 5 mana 4/4. And if you play a certain, like, there's some cards where you can discard right away and end up having a busted hand right away. I'm not sure if we have those cards, but that this card goes into that deck as well. Goblin Gavilaire, 1 mana 1/1 with trample, gets +2/+0 for each equipment attached to it. As a warrior, that's a really good warrior. There is the Hammer Time deck totally available, and we were needing another warrior to play in that deck. So actually, that's pretty busted as well. All right, Harmless Offering. This is a fun card. So 3 mana, target opponent gains control of target permanent you control. So I actually love that this is the cat, because I've been wanting this. So you can play a 9 lives, give your 9 lives to them, and then play stuff to sacrifice 9 lives effects, or like things that kill 9 lives, and that's you lose the game. So any card that you can play that says you lose the game on it, you give it to them, and suddenly it's like, oh well, there you go. So yeah, so you can just force them to lose games or do things like that with Harmless Offering. So it's a pretty fun card. It's a combo card, and it's a janky combo, but it's a fun type of janky combo. So I like it. All right, Alana, Huntmaster. So 4 mana 3/3. Whenever you cast an elf spell, you may create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature. At least this isn't a busted elf. It is a good elf, but like, I don't think that elves right now are wanting 4 drops as much. It does dodge some of the removal spells that are out there, so maybe they run as a 1/of, but I feel like elves are already dialed in. I don't think this is going to change it too much, but it's more elves. Cool. Spider Spawning, 5 mana sorcery. Create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach for each creature card in your graveyard. That's actually pretty decent. I've been playing a lot of, you guys know me, I play Spider Tribal, and so we might just do this. But this also works with what's the one from Ravnica, the first Ravnica Allegiance or whatever, that how much stuff is in your graveyard. I can't remember the name of that effect, but this would work with that. All right, Tusk Demolisher, 6 mana 6/6 trample with mutate, more mutate stuff. This is brand new then. So this is something from, or maybe this is from like the Commander stuff. Interesting. So 4 mana to mutate. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target non-creature permanent. So we can just hit lands with this. This is land destruction or whatever else. Its controller creates a 3/3 green beast creature token. That's actually really good. If you can mutate enough times onto that, that's just all the land destruction in the world, which we've seen mutate get really busted. This is, 6 mana, 4 mana to mutate though. That's actually really good. We'll have to address that at some time as well. Collected Conjuring, dude. I like historic anthology. I don't know about you guys, but it's fun to. It just offers more decks and more fun things you can do. Sometimes it's like, really, you had to bring this back, but like, I'm really excited about this Almond Cat stuff coming back and everything. Or this is Our Devastation. Excuse me. All right, Collected Conjuring, 2 mana, red and blue sorcery. Exile the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast up to 2 sorcery spells with converted costs 3 or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Put the exiled cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library in random order. Wait, so exile top 6 cards, you may cast 2 sorcery spells with converted costs 3 or less without paying the mana cost. Okay, so it's basically Collected Company, but for spells, right? And at sorcery speed. That's really good. It's only sorcery spells that you can cast with converted cost 3 or less. I'm not totally sure how to make this busted, but I feel like you can for sure. You have to play everything sorcery speed. I mean, this is screaming a deck that you want to be able to play with. What's it called? Teferi, and Teferi's gone now. But I feel like this could be busted. There is the other mutate deck as well that would work well with this. What's it called? There's the mutate combo that we were playing off with Vadrock that's in standard right now. I guess maybe that can go. I'm trying to think of like what things would be good. You want to be able to have lots of sorcery spells, so maybe a burn deck could also work. I don't know. Interesting. Abomination of Landor. This was also one of the ones from the commander sets, I believe. So 3 mana, legendary elf horror, vigilance menace, giving us a legendary. Man, I want Historic Brawl to be a thing. All right, and then its power and toughness are each equal to the number of elves you control plus the number of elf cards in your graveyard. That could. There's a lot of elf graveyard synergies, so this could definitely be a good deck as well. So we're gonna build this one as well, because there is the Halvar protects the elves or saves the elves, whatever that card is that mills your graveyard as well. Seems pretty good. Hamza, Guardian of Arashin, 6 mana 5/5. This spell costs 1 less for each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. This was one of the secondary commanders I think you can get in one of the decks as well. One of the commander decks. So this is another commander card from the IKORIA commander set, which I'm super happy that they're bringing these to standard, because there's some of them like, man, why didn't you put that for standard? Mutate needed a few more things, and so this is actually pretty cool. Creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay, that's actually really busted. So everything costs less. That's right, I forgot about this card. So yeah, get +1/+1 counters onto stuff, and then cast more things with +1/+1 counters on stuff for cheaper. Yeah. that seems busted. Like, can you imagine snakes with this? Oh yeah, that's way busted. Yeah, yep. Blink Moth Nexus. Oh, this is a really good one. Is this Infect or no? Which one is the one with Infect? Not this one. All right, but Blink Moth Nexus, you can tap to add mana, pay 1, and becomes a 1/1 artifact creature with flying until end of turn. It's still land. So 1 mana, and all of a sudden this can be a flyer, which is really nice for you. And then you can pay 1 and tap it, and it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Yeah, that's good. I've never played with Blink Moth. This is my first time, I think, reading it all the way through. I'm sorry, I'm covering it all the way up here, but is there a way that I can change this? There, you can see a little bit better there. All right, so yeah, that's what it does. A little bit scary. Let's go back here now. I might have been covering the other guy as well. Oops. All right, 1 mana Bone Splitter. Equipped creature gets +2/+0, and you can equip for 1. Just another equipment that's cheap to put on. I feel like we have other things like this. I guess it's still good though. I'm not sure. It feels like a weird one to give us. Maybe it's just for nostalgia purposes. I feel like there's definitely better stuff. But I mean, instead of just like, because the short sword is decent. It's the only the other ones that has 1 mana and 1 to equip, and it gives +1/+1. So giving the +2/+0 for some decks, that's exactly what you want. Cold Steel Heart, 2 mana, enters the battlefield tapped. As it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Yeah, I want 1 mana of any of the colors. So it's another snow artifact. A 2 mana rock is pretty sweet stuff. It doesn't tap for colorless, so it won't be added into the colorless ramp deck. But into snow deck, I could definitely see this seeing some play. Yeah, it's not the worst for sure. All right, Inspiring Sanctuary. Non-artifact spells you control have improvise. Oh no, more stuff for the artifact decks. Yikes. And then Sword of Body in Mind. So enters battlefield, gets +2/+2. Sorry, equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from green and blue. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you create a 2/2 green wolf creature token that and that player mills 10 cards. That's a lot of stuff that card says. Wow. Yeah, dude, the swords are busted in general. I always forget which ones do which, but that's pretty dang good stuff. All right, so you create a wolf creature token and that player mills cards. Seems pretty legit. We're definitely going to try to make that work as well in the crab deck. We're going to build crabs and play Sword of Body in Mind and try to mill by hitting with zero power things. I mean, well, it'll be 2 power because of the sword, so booyah. Yeah, we're gonna do some fun stuff here. All right, so that's it for Historic Anthology. Let me know what you guys think overall about Historic Anthology. I think it's fun. We're definitely gonna be building a lot of stuff around this. I probably won't have videos coming out for this for a little bit, just because I have a few other recordings coming out before this. But super exciting stuff. Yeah, let me know what stuff you guys are excited for, so I know what things to be crafting. I don't have a bunch of mythic rares right now, so any of the mythic cards will be a little harder. I'm excited there's not too many of those though. At least for me, the rares might be harder for some other people, but a lot of cards that are fun to play with are common as well. So if you guys are trying to jump into something in historic, there's actually some decent cards in common here as well, which hopefully will make it a little bit easier to cast some stuff or to create some stuff, some decent uncommon things as well. Yeah, overall, yeah, I'm excited for this. So yeah, let me know your guys thoughts in the comments down below. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.